voluntas sua, let thy will be done. But if humanity must sustain this planet as a habitable home for generations yet unborn, then not just divine will must prevail alone, but determine political action. Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, co-debaters, timekeeper, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I, Master Ohalete D from Stella-Maris College, Harcourt, stands passionately to affirm the motion which states that the role of government and policies in managing plastic waste has not been adequate in Nigeria. And I do so not just as a student, but as a concerned citizen suffering from the cumulative effects of governmental inertia in the face of environmental degradation. Argument 1. Policies versus Nigerian realities. In countries like Canada, Germany, and Rwanda, decisive actions have been met in order to address plastic waste. Rwanda, for example, has implemented a ban on plastic bags as early as 2008. Germany's Green Dot system compels producers to take advantage and take care of responsibility of their packaging materials and compel them to do it in order to increase high recycling rates. Canada has implemented a ban on single-use plugs and with high effective mechanism. These are not dreams, they are realities. However, in Nigeria is the story of adequantos legis statis sunt, si quodem expediantur. Sometimes laws are sufficient provided they are enforced. But in Nigeria country, enforcement is our most persistent ghost. In 2020, the Federal Ministry of Environment launched a national policy on environmental plastic management in 2020 aimed at promoting sustainable plastic use and encouraging recycling. But these remain theological models, lacking funding, visibility, and measurable impact. Argument 2. Nigerian politics exist in name alone. Permit me to ask, what use are policies that gather dust in government archives? Nigeria's ministry has made promising declarations recommending recycling, encouraging reuse, regulating plastic pollution. But walk through the streets of Onitsha, Lagos, or Port Harcourt and behold this irony. Markets, gutters choked with pure water sachets. Markets strewn with discarded plastic wrap and no waste sorting infrastructure inside. Mr. Chairman, around the globe, innovation has become a very powerful tool in addressing plastic waste. India, for example, has implemented and used plastic waste in building roads. Sweden recycles 99% of its total waste and converting most of it into energy. Well, why are these not pragmatic in Nigeria? Market weakness. The informal recycling sector remains unsupported and disorganized. They operate in a policy vacuum with neither encouragement nor sustainment. Thus, even when billion minds come up with waste to world solutions, such as using plastic bricks for consumption, there is no policy in the country. Nigerian country's negligence on plastic waste has allowed toxic waste to seep into our waterways, clog our drainage system, and kill our marine life. In 2020, Port Harcourt suffers from perennial flooding, worsened by plastic clogging its drainage system. But what has Nigerian policies done? Policies gather dust in government archives while plastic piles rise. For quote again from the Ladder to Seal, which says that there must be a frank dialogue with politics and economics in the service of life. But unfortunately, in our political class, we see environmental stewardship as not urgent or life-saving. Budget for environmental reforms remains pitifully low. Environmental education remains absent from school curricula, and policy gather dust in government archives and plastic piles rise. Our survival as a people, as a planet, requires government who will not just write laws and policies, but live them out. We must remove that narrative that says that Nigeria cannot do what Rwanda has done, or that our innovations are doomed to fail. Not to be said patrie, not for self, but for country. So I stand firm to frame the motion which states that the role of politics and government in managing plastic waste has not been adequate in Nigeria. Our government must rise from their slumber to address this modern scourge. Fiat voluntas terrae, let the rule of the earth be done. I rest my case.